Right, hi guys, right, welcome to Squibby's Grub Club. Now I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm going to do a vegetarian spaghetti bolognese, and it's a cheap enough meal. It can feed probably 6 or 7 people at least. If you haven't got a big family, then you can just serve up what you want and freeze the rest. So nice and cheap. Now the ingredients I've got, as I say, it's corn mincemeat. I'll show you in a minute all the bits, but the entire shopping list has come to well under £10 now, so that will feed, as I said, a family of 6. That's 6 adults, not 6, you know, 2 mum and dad and like kids or whatever. It's 6 adult portions. But say if you don't want to use it, or just freeze it. But anyway, so I'll show you what we've got and then we'll get on with the cooking. This can be fun, I think. Right guys, so here is the ingredients you're going to need. It's nothing special, this is like my own little concoction. There's only one thing that it wasn't included in the price. Obviously a little bit of butter margarine is always good. I'll show you what I do with that in a minute. But anyway, so like what we've got is virgin olive oil. You don't need to use that if you don't want to, just a normal vegetable oil will do, but I use that for this sort of thing, stir fry. A tin of chopped tomatoes, Worcester sauce, the pasta sauce, doesn't matter what you use. I believe that was about 350 grams of mushrooms, a pack of peppers. Obviously this was a pack of onions. I think there was about 4 or 5 onions in it, but you only need 1 for this meal. Oxos, obviously that was for a whole box. You're only going to need 4 oxos in this meal, but I'll go through this all properly as we're cooking. Now I've got some real garlic. Now you don't have to use garlic, but you can get granules or like a garlic oil paste, you know, that sort of thing. And then some dried mixed herbs, right? And we all like our herbs, don't we, people? 1 pack of spaghetti strands. Now if there's you know, sort of, you know, maybe if there was sort of more than, if there was 6 of you, you might need another packet of that. But you know, that's 20p for one of them, for cheap and cheerful. So if you sort of say 2 packs if you've got a large family, but you can adjust it, right? But this is sort of just the basics. I'm only cooking for 3 of us, and I'm going to freeze the rest, so I'll only need 1 pack, right? So obviously the more people there are, just you know, another pack of that. And there's the corn mince. It isn't me, obviously. It's corn. It's a vegetable mushroom product, you know, and obviously the butter, but that's not included in the £10 price for doing this meal. But everybody's got some butter or margarine. Again, you're going to need a spoon, a nice sharp knife, a wok or a large pot or a large frying pan, and that's pretty much all you need. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare the food, but before I do that we need to wash our handies, don't we? Alright, so I'm going to change the camera around so it's going to be on a chest cam, so I've got both my hands free, and then we'll get cooking. Alright. Right guys, so let's start preparing this food. So this is one, you know, sort of quite a large onion, and what I tend to do is I tend to put the whole onion in, and it just gives it a bit of flavour. Alright, because let's face it, it's this sort of stuff what flavours the food. Clear up in a minute. Now what I do is I cut the onion in half first, and then I chop through the onion, but not all the way through, or try not to. Alright. And then I go the other way and then cut all the way through. Now don't be too fussy when it comes to chopping the onion up. It hasn't got to be that fine. If you want it finer, then that's up to you. But you know, sort of sometimes a bit of chunky veg is alright. But so you know, try and get it sort of chopped as fine as you can. Alright, and go through the other way. Now I know some of you will be saying, we all know how to make spaghetti bolognese, what's Squibby up to? Well, this is, as I said, it is my Squibby's Grub Club. And, you know, I've been cooking and messed about with food for years, you know, because, you know, let's face it, we've all got to eat. But I get tired of packet meals and things like that. And I'm just sort of showing you that, you know, for under £10, if you're watching in other countries, I don't know what the price would be. But £10 English pounds, you can look that up on the conversion thing on Google. Alright, so that's the onion done. Just sort of, I sometimes put it on a plate or a tray so it's ready. But yeah, I'll just, you know, there's a lot of times where we haven't got time to cook. And so you end up eating, you know, crappy takeaway food. You know, sometimes it's nice to have a bit of a takeaway. Again, with the peppers, cut them straight in half, and then what I do with the knife, I sort of make a sort of a V, and then you see all that comes out easy, and then just get the seeds out. Alright, you ain't got to be too fussy with this. Gets a bit messy, but you just have to clear up everything. But yeah, so it gets to the point sometimes where eating stuff out of packets isn't that good for you. And we all know it's full of sugars and salts and God knows what chemicals to keep it all fresh. So this is an alternative. Again, it is my own recipe, and I know most people know how to cook a spag bowl. But I thought this was a good one to start with. Alright, now, you can do this however you want, but all I do is I put one on top of the other, squish it down, and go chop, chop, watch your fingers. Alright, again, you haven't got to be too fussy with this. Alright, get it reasonably fine, but you haven't, I mean, you know, let's face it, none of us are cordon bleu cooks and stuff. Alright. And then what, that's the first lot. Alright. Now what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to halve the peppers, because I was yakking away, I normally only put half a pepper in. So I'm just going to come in front of the camera. I'm going to put this to one side, because I find too much pepper in the food actually spoils it. Now again, these are just normal sweet peppers, they're not like chili peppers, you know. So cut in half, and again, stop yakking Squibby. So again, look, a little V, pop that out, give it a little bang. You ain't got to be too fussy with it. And then get the green pepper. Now really this is sort of peppers, it's nice to have, you know, one of each, different colours, because it does add a little bit of colour to the food. And let's face it, if the food looks nice, it's more appetising. If it just looks like a plate of mush, you know, it's not as nice, is it? So, what I did before, put them both together like that, squish them down, and then just cut, box your uncle, and then grab it all, what's that? Hang on a second, people. Right, that was the pepper, that was the mixed herbs went over, so I can now pick them up. So just chop these up. Again, they haven't got to be massively fine. You might lose a few bits here and there. So basically what I've done is I've used half of each of the 3 peppers, right? Because otherwise I find it's a bit too much. I mean, if you want to, you can put, I did used to put 3 whole peppers. Wash your hands quick. I did used to put 3 whole peppers in when I first started cooking and doing this. I find it's a bit too much, but again, that's up to you. I mean, sometimes if you don't want to be putting half of a pepper in the fridge and then it goes off, so again, you might use it, but I don't. Okay, so right, so we've got the garlic ready. Now what I do with the garlic, now I like using one of these big flat knives, alright, because there's a lot of reason for it, because it's heavy and it just feels like you just have to give it a sharpen every now and again, but you can get one of them metal things. But anyway, so what I do with the garlic, take one piece, alright, so we do it like that, and then with the flat of the knife, put it on top and squish, alright, and then put the flat on top, squish. It's actually quite nice, that squishy sound, alright. Take your anger out on it. Alright. Now when this is all squished, I'm then going to finely chop it. Alright. Now I know a lot of guys don't cook. It might be burgers and pizzas and things like that. But let's get a wash. But you know, I learned to cook years ago. I've always been interested in it, you know, I've always liked my food. Now with the chopping of what I tend to do is hold the knife at this end, alright? And then because the shape of the knife is designed to sort of pivot, so just do that. You ain't got to be a rocket science to do, you know, to do this. Alright, can you see this? Look. See, it sort of naturally rocks. Alright, so look. Now, you have to do is cut, you have to go over it a few times, because really, I like the garlic really finely chopped. Alright. But you don't have to be too fussy with this. The whole point of this meal is to get it cooked. You know, look, go over it a few times. And eventually it chops it so fine. Now to me that's perfect, alright? Now at this point, wash your hands again, get that goo off your hands. It's horrible when you're handing spoon and things. Right, now at this stage what I'm going to do is move that here. Now we want to get the old oil, drop the virgin oil. Again, you don't have to use it, you can just use normal olive oil. Now I'm going to have to move the camera, so let me just move the camera around and then we'll go from there. Right, so basically we've got the key ingredients ready. Alright, that's the prep, and then we're going to add, and then as we cook. Alright, so back in a moment. Right, okay, so we take our virgin oil, or normal, you know, vegetable oil, sunflower, whatever you want to use. I mean, but to me, this tastes better doing it this way. We'll drop the virgin oil. Give it a nice little splosh. I don't normally measure anything too much, but you know, just it's not hot at the minute, so that's enough. You don't need too much. You don't want the food floating in the oil. Alright, so get that ready. And then turn the lights up. Now what I do is I put this on full heat. Alright, full heat on the gas. And then have a swish round. You want to get the sides of the pan oiled up as well. Now this is just a normal alley wok. I mean, you can get all different types of woks, but you don't need a wok to do this. You can have a large saucepan, a big frying pan. I like a wok because it's got high sides, and also the food cooks, I think, better when you're doing stir fries. But so you don't need all this. You can just, this is just something I've already got. I've not gone out and bought this. You can see this is well used. Right, now what I tend to do is when the oil starts smoking a little bit, I then get hold of me garlic. Right, put the garlic in first. Right. Now you don't want to cook the garlic too much. You just want to give it a little whoosh round in the oil, because burnt garlic's horrible. Alright, so it's literally, right, that's done. Alright, now you get your tray of condiment, your mushrooms, peppers, onions, and I just do that. I don't mess about, in you go. Alright, get them in. Now, as I said, this is a vegetarian spag bowl, alright? Using corn mince. Now, give this a good, keep this on a high gas, alright? Now, because it's on a high gas, you have got to keep turning it, otherwise it's going to burn. You want to cook this quick, alright? Sort of, this part of the cook is like no more than about 4 or 5 minutes, alright? But in that time, 4 or 5 minutes, you've got to keep turning it. Don't sort of go, oh, I'll go and answer the door and go and feed the dog, or, you know, you've got to stay with it, alright? Now, as I said, this is a qualm. It's one of these ones. I don't know how much it is. It's 300 gram. You can get a bigger bag, but that's a 300 gram. Right. Right, okay, so I've got the corn ready. Just chuck that in. And then stay with this, just keep turning it. Now this will cook down a little bit, because we've got to get tomato. We've got to get a tin of chopped tomatoes in and a whole jar of the pasta sauce. All right. Now again, if you're you want a meat version of this, it's easy. Just get some minced meat instead of the corn. Do it like that. But this is a proper veggie meal. Now, I am a carnivore. I love meat, and if I sit around too long, I might sink my teeth into you. But I do like veggie stuff. It is especially this corn mince. It is lovely. All right. And when I first see my missus, she's a vegetarian, all right. And she cooked me her version of spag bowl years ago, and it was a corn one. And when she said, oh, there was no meat in that, I couldn't believe her. You know, again, it is what you put in the mixture, but you've seen what I've put in. It's nothing special. Bit of onion, some mixed peppers, bit of garlic, and again, just keep turning this, alright? And I'm not the I'm a bit of a messy cooker. Things end up flying everywhere, but you know, as the old saying is, you've got to break a few eggs if you want to make a cake, yeah? Right, so, and that's doing all right. Now, I do sometimes, well, when I start this off, I look at the clock on the microwave, and I think, okay, I'll give it roughly 4 or 5 minutes. But for God's sake, you must keep turning this, otherwise you're going to burn it. You can turn the heat down a little bit, but I like doing this bit on a really high heat. Obviously, different cookers are different. This is a gas cooker, so you've got to adjust it accordingly. And again, so you know, if you do want to do a meat version of this, you know, you've got the meat mince meat. But what I do with this is it's all veg. It's a veggie one. In a minute, I'll put 4 vegetable oxos in here. Again, if you're doing a meat version, you know, you might want to put the meat oxos in here. You know. Yeah, I was going to film this on the chest cam, as I said, but I didn't take into consideration as, you know, you're sort of moving about a bit, and it would, you know, you'd all get motion sickness. So I've set the tripod up. First time I've done it on a tripod, anything like this. I normally do a lot of stuff either handheld to start with, and then I put the chest cam on, but it's just not possible. Right, okay. Now that's ready, so let's just turn the gas down a very slight bit, because I don't want to burn while I'm doing the next thing. Right, okay, so that's at about 4 or 5 minutes. So now, let's put the chopped tomatoes in. Again, you can put your tomato puree in, and do what you want, but this is how I do mine. I do it nice and simple. So this anyone can do this, and again, it's easier watching by example, I find, than following a cookbook. Cookbooks are good, but sometimes they sort of, you know, that's the pasta sauce, just whop it all in, no messing. Now what I do at this stage, I put about 1/6, fill it up with water, give it a good shaker maker, because you're going to add water to this, and I don't like wasting stuff, so that gets all the little bits out of the jar. Right, so about 1/6 of the jar. I might need to put some more in a minute. Now at this stage, turn the gas up high again, because we need to get all this sauce, you need to get it boiling, you need to get it so it's bubbling. Alright, once it's all bubbling, and again you need to stay with this. I see so many people cook these and do things, and they leave it and they go and watch the telly, and then it's all burnt, it all sticks to the pan. You cannot leave a spag bowl, alright? You just don't leave it, just stay with it, and just make sure this is recording. Right. Okay, so that's stirred in. Right, so next bit, we get our 4 oxos, vegetable oxos, alright. Crumble them in. Now it's just starting to bubble. So you don't have a lot of time when so you can turn the gas down. You don't have to have it on the full setting. Again, use your brains. You know, your own cooker is, you know how your cooker is, you know, it's gas, electric, you know how fierce and ferocious it is. I mean, this oven, the actual oven, quite enough, cooks quick, and this is a bit of an old cooker, but it's like, you know, when they give you times on a packet, you know, gas mark 7 for for 25 minutes. But if I put something in the oven, gas mark 7 for 25 minutes, it'd be incinerated. I mean, I don't know where they get their ideas. What I tend to do, if it says gas mark 7, I do it on gas mark 5 or 6. Yeah, and if it says 25 minutes, I reduce that. Basically, what I do is I do 10 minutes, come back, have a look, do another 5 minutes, come back, you know, do it like that. Otherwise, you only end up with burnt food. And my missus always laughs at me, but she says, "Oh, you always time everything." I don't time anything. And I went, well, I prefer the time stuff. I know roughly, I look at the clock, but what I sometimes do is I set my countdown alarm on my watch, you know, on there, on my phone, and it just, if the door, because that's basic, you know, where life's, we've got busy lives, someone knocks at the door, you know, something happens, you've got to let the dog out, or if something happens, and you go away, and before you know it, you've got ruined food. So at least with a timer, I mean, when you put a pie in the oven or something, you don't stand with it, you go on, but that's what I do, is I put a timer on, and I'll come back and have a look, right? So, we've mixed them in nicely. Right, now next thing, we need our mixed herbs, herb man. Right, so, now don't be bashful with this, and this, so the other, let's do this. Right, now about that bad. Alright, you can put what you want in. I normally put a little handful. Again, I don't measure anything, not when I'm doing this. Alright. Now I know there is bits in the pasta sauce, but I think this makes it, because, you know, and I know some people say, why have you used the pasta sauce? Why haven't you done, like, you know, your own? Well, it's not that sort of meal. This is just sort of for the people out there who won't cook, can't cook. And see, look, I try and keep the peppers and the vegetables a little bit bigger. You know, obviously the onion's a bit more finer and the garlic's well fine. Now, give it a good stir. Really give it a good stir. I'm going to have to put some more water in there in a minute. Right, now, this is my secret weapon. Worcestershire sauce. And it can be anyone's brand, it ain't got to be anything special. Now, I sort of go, I'm quite heavy-handed with this. Alright, my missus saw me do this. She said, "Oh, don't stop, you kill it." Right, that's enough. Now that was full, so I've used nearly half of that. Alright, now this is, what size bottle is this? Does it give a measurement? I know they're all meant to, but 150ml. Right, now I don't know if you can see, I've not used half, I've probably used, what, a third. Alright, so again, you don't have to use Worcestershire sauce, but I don't know, it just gives it that kick. And again, because it's a vegetarian meal, you have to put a few extra bits in to compensate, because obviously meat's tasty in it, you know, you've got the meat flavours and all that malarkey going on. Right, so now I have turned the gas down a bit and give it another good stir. Right, that needs more water in it. Now again, don't put too much water in to start with. Start with a little bit and then put some more in, alright? Because you don't want it to be like slop. But so this does need simmering down. It needs to cook up. Now, some of you already know this, but I normally cook this up. Right? There's only 3 of us, the missus, the little boy and me, and the dog gets some, and believe me, he loves it. He's pretty much as one of the family. He obviously we give him dog food and all that, but you know, we normally give him a bit of this, or if there's a bit on a plate, he always has a lick and has a, you know, but we normally, there's enough in here for us to have it tonight and tomorrow, and there's always a bit left over, so we sort of freeze a little bit of it. If we don't change it the next day, then we let it completely cool. and then put it into Tupperware box or tubs, right? And then just get a bit of bit of paper, bit of sticky tape, and just right on the pot when you put it in the freezer. Right? So then in say a month or 2 months time, you know, okay, that's still in date. I don't know, all freezers are different, you know, you'll find that you can freeze some things longer than the others. But just be careful when you're freezing food. Let it cool down completely, you know. Don't start putting warm or hot food in the freezer, otherwise you're going to poison yourself. And I don't want to be responsible for your death or illness, alright? Anyway, so we've added a bit more water, and that, you see that now, it's got that sort of consistency. It's a bit pissy, but believe me, I normally cook this up for a while. Now, it's 1:30 on my clock in the afternoon. Now, what I tend to do is I normally give this at least 30 minutes. Right? Now, I'm not going to stand here for 30 minutes stirring, because it'll be boring as anything. But anyway, so okay, so now at this stage, can you see it's bubbling? Right, so what you want to do with your gas, you want to turn it down so it's a really low simmer. Right? You don't want this on a high gas, you want it on a very low simmer. Now, again, don't leave it. I mean, what I do is I'm normally in the kitchen. I don't do all the cooking in the house, but I do some of it. And I learned the hard way because, you know, my mum showed me how to cook when I was a kid, but I was interested. You know, when you're a kid, your mum says, let's make some cakes. And you might go, oh, do I have to? Right? But she says, oh, you can lick the bowl out, and so you think, what lovely. So, but if you get kids involved in cooking when they're young, it's life skills. I mean, you haven't got to be cordon bleu chef or anything special, but you know, to do something like this, right? As I said, this you can do this in an hour. You know, you might want to leave it a little bit longer, let all the flavours, everything come out. And I actually think the next day, if you have this the next day, or even don't have it tonight, cook it all up, put the lid on, leave it. And then the next day, oh my god, the flavour. It's like, you know, when you've had a curry, right? Doesn't matter if it's a takeaway or done your own, and you've got some left over for the next day, right? Now some people go, I'm going to chuck it away. No, oh, that's sacrilege, I can't chuck it away. Seal it all properly, and then have it the next day, and it tastes even better. I think it's just everything, it just tastes so much better having it like that. But again, this is for our dinner tonight. Just trying to think, is there anything else I can tell you, because you don't want to watch me doing this for half an hour. Alright, I'm sort of going to cut. You've seen the most important bits, alright, but for God's sake, keep with it. You haven't got to keep stirring it, but you want to stay with it, alright. You want to sort of make sure it doesn't stick to the bottom, alright. And the thing is, my mum showed me when I was a kid certain bits. You know, I know some guys go, sissy cooking. Well, it might well be you, mate, but it keeps your belly, keeps you fed, and you ain't got to worry. I mean, don't get me wrong, we all go in the frozen supermarkets and buy the packet meals, but I try and limit how much we have, because we all know it's full of salt, it's full of sugar, it's full of weird and wonderful stuff that they don't even put on the packets, or we don't understand what it is. But as I say, we all eat the packet food, we all like fast food, but it's just nice to break it up with something like this. Something, you know, easy, relatively easy, The thing is with anything like this is the preparation, is get everything prepped, like cut up ready, on a tray or a big plate, get rid of all the rubbish so you've got a clear working area, and just take your time. Now I normally have the radio on, listen to a bit of rock music or, you know, absolute 80s or some one of them stations, but I was going to have the radio on, so we've got a bit of background music, and the only problem is that sometimes when you up these said videos to YouTube, you know, it doesn't matter what you listen to, if there's something on there that's copyright and you're not allowed to have it playing, then they mute the volume. And as this is the first time I've done Squibby's Grub Club, I thought, well, we'll see how it goes. Now what I might do in the near future, because, you know, some of you already know I'm a DJ, I'm involved with bands, I photograph bands, I video live bands, I do it all. So what I will be doing soon is any bands that actually produce their own music, doesn't matter what type of band you are, dance band, rock band, reggae band, you know, whatever, jazz, I don't care, classical, if you write your own stuff, you know, and it is your own stuff, and you like it played over the top, you know, while I'm cooking, I can Bluetooth it to the radio, so if you know, but it has to be your own work. I mean, I've got mates who are in tribute bands and things like that, and I'd love to be able to use all that, but it still comes under copyright. It has to be your own music. And again, it will be just in the background or used as the intro to the video or the outro to the video. But yeah, if you are interested or know a band that might, you haven't got to be top quality, you know, sort of travelling around the world. You know, I know how it is, most bands are struggling, you know, they don't get paid. Again, there won't be no money in this because I don't get paid for doing this. It's just a good way of getting some of your music aired, you know, and in a bit of a fun way. I mean, I know some music won't be appropriate, but I'm not really bothered. I mean, I used to play, I've done radio, I've done lots of stuff, you know, on the FM, on the Pirates, you know, I've done, you know, but when I used to do a radio show, it used to be alternative, so it used to be rock, reggae, whatever, you know, that sort of stuff. But then I used to do a dance show as well, you know, sort of tech, all that sort of stuff. Who wants me now? But yeah, so I used to do the alternative stuff on one night, and I used to play everything, and some of the stuff, I mean, he makes me say, how are you getting away with playing that? And I went, well, you know, take a risk, in for a penny, in for a pound. I just like all music, I don't sort of, so I'll draw the line at Agadoo and the Bloody Birdie song. But yeah, so if you are in a band, or you haven't got to be out on the circuit, you know, you could be a bedroom band, you could be a one-man band creating stuff. If you'd like your tunes played, just leave me a message below. I mean, there's all the links in, there will be the links in this video for my website and Hotmail and phone number, so you can get hold of me any way you want if you'd like your tunes used in this sort of format. It might not be for cooking, it could be one of my other videos, but so have a look at my vids on YouTube. If you subscribe to us, that would be brilliant. Like and share, even better. It don't cost you nothing, you don't get sent spam, you don't get, it's just, you know, it's cool. Helps me build my channel, and YouTube let me do other things, and but yeah, so you know, if you do want to do something like that, let us know. I'm just thinking, is that really about, is that it? I don't want to bore you any longer, because really this has got to be cooked. A bit of stirring here and there. The only thing I might do, to me, that's just the right consistency. It will thicken up in a little while. You don't want it too thick, but you don't want it runny. Again, down to your own preference, there you have it. But after a while, this will thicken up. And I'll tell you what, it bloody smells beautiful. Let's just have a little taste. Lovely. Yeah, that doesn't need anything else in it. That's really tasty. Now, when I first learned to do spaghetti bolognese, I mean, people showed me how to do bits. Girlfriends, ex-girlfriends, you know, they show you how to do stuff. I mean, that's blokes are not doing cooking really. But it was a case of, you know, sort of testing it and sampling it, and just sort of stay with it. Don't be impatient with it, don't rush it. But yeah, so it's all good. So, yeah, I'll tell you what, it is a bit quiet without the radio on. I was going to have it on really low, but I guarantee you YouTube would have picked up on it and I'd have gone, ban or block the video, block the audio. It will allow you to show the video, but then you wouldn't have my lovely golden tones. But you know. Right, so that'll probably do for now. So it needs, I always give this about 30 minutes actual cook time. Once it's boiling, you know, turn the gas right down low, simmer it for a good half an hour. You know, you don't have to do it for stupid long length times, but it is good if you just want to get away from them frozen ready meals. You know what's gone into this pretty much. I know there's a sauce I've put in, and I could have made my own sauce, but it's not that sort of meal, right? It's just to chuck it in and off you go. But that does taste nice. Anyway, there you go. Yeah, as I said, this bag bowl, it will feed 6 people, right? 6 adults. You know, if you want to put a bit more peppers in it, a bit more onion, and a bit more this and a bit more that's all good. It's up to you. I mean, there's no rules when you're doing this. I mean, let's face it. It's like when you do a curry, you just chuck it all in, don't you? And again, I might do a curry at some point. Again, it's nothing special. It's just to, you know, chop up a bit. But when I do the curry, I'll probably do a meat one because. See, it's difficult because my missus, she's the veggie, and she won't. If you're veggie, you can't have any meat. You know, you can't have anything. Meat extracts, meat oxo, that is. So it can be a bit tricky. But what I tend to do is I cook the meat separately and do it in such a way, and then I do like a veggie curry. And then I add, you know, at a later time, so like my missus can eat the veg curry, but so this is all vegetable. There's no meat in it at all, not even the meat oxo. But yeah, so it's all good now. It's actually starting to thicken up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, you can add a lot more. I mean, as you can see, the pan is not full up. But the trick of this is when you're cooking, don't have it up here somewhere, because I mean, as I said, I'm not the most tidiest cook. I mean, there's splashes and bits, but if you have the pan too full up, it's going to be hard to stir it, and you know it's going to go over, and you know. But for God's sake, stay with it. Don't leave it at all. You know, you haven't got to keep stirring it, but just every sort of minute or couple of minutes, just give it a nice little stir around but remember it's on a simmer, it's on a low gas, but it can catch, alright. Anything else I could offer? But yeah, it's just about experimenting, and I know sometimes we haven't got the time, and sometimes, you know, after a 12, 14 plus hour day at work, you know, the thought of standing in the kitchen cooking for an hour or so is the last thing you want to do. So that's when you reach for a takeaway or a packet meal. But you know what I used to do, as I said today, I had a couple of hours free. So I thought, well, I'll get on, I'll do the dinner, so we've got something nice to eat later. And again, you can freeze it up for another meal. So then another time when you've had a long hard day at graft, all you got to do is remember to get it out of the freezer. that's the main thing, because that's what I used to do. I used to freeze up said food, right, and then I used to forget to get it out, and I'd think at work I'd be miles away. Oh, stuff it. I'll have it tomorrow. So I'd get it out. You know, I'd get it out the evening before, and then I knew it was going to be defrosted for the next day. But just give it a taste. I mean, we're coming up. It's at about 20 minutes cook time. Yeah, it's lovely. That's nice. But it's funny, we've had mates around before, and they're carnivores. They eat like their meat. We've sat them down to either Lisa makes it or I make it to my wife. And We don't tell them, and they've eaten it. Oh, that's lovely. They don't want any meat in that whatsoever, and they can't believe it, like I couldn't believe it. So once this is actually cooked, and it's served, you can sprinkle, grate some rice, pasta on the plate, this on top, grate some rice, grate some cheese over it, sorry. It doesn't have to be Parmesan, it hasn't got to be that posh stinky deer cheese. That cheese, it stinks like old feet, doesn't it? But it tastes lovely. It's funny that with food, some of it, you can be off-put by the smell, but the taste of it is it's totally different. But yeah, you just sprinkle any old cheese over it if you like it like that. Again, another little added bonus for when you're doing a spag bowl is get yourself a nice garlic bread, a cheap one, ain't got to be dear one. I mean, Lidl's and all that, they do nice cheap ones. I think they're only about £1 or something, not even that. Stick that in the oven, and a bit of garlic bread with this is nice. But I tend not to have the garlic bread if I'm eating this, because I find garlic are too much. You end up feeling a bit bilious, you know what I mean, because the garlic and it can be very fatty because of the butters and stuff. Talking of butter, I didn't add a knob of butter when I was cooking, did I? So I've done it purely with the virgin oil. What I normally do is I put a knob of butter in. Anyone will tell you if you want the butter or the butter margarine. You use the butter margarine to add a bit of flavour, and the oil so it doesn't burn, it doesn't stick. But you don't have to. Some people just want to drop of oil in it and off you go. But yeah, I was saying about cooking when I was a kid and got interested in it. I used to watch that Galloping Gourmet on the telly. Does anyone remember that? I mean, I'm talking about, it must have been around the 70s or something.
Made it. Thank you so much for being here. Bless your hearts. Hey, I've got a great dish for you, and it's a great lump of steak. A super dish. I'll show you where it comes from. It comes from England, comes from a place called Clifton, which is just outside Bristol. I have the most ridiculous dish that you would ever imagine in your life being done. And, oops. Look how I stir. Now look at that. Doesn't that look terrible? Not the 1 hour!
And the guy used to grab one or two people out of the audience, and I think they helped him cook it, if I remember right. And then they sat down and ate it at the end of the show. And I thought that was great. But it's not everyone's forte. But so I wanted to try something different with this video, because I do all different types of video, and I thought, let's do the Grub Club, Squibby's Grub Club. Alright, so, but I think this is coming up to being nearly done. I'm going to give it a bit longer than a half. Like I say, I normally let it go. It's just over an hour. I normally do it for. I normally cook it. I mean, the hour is, as I said, to do the whole thing, prep and cook it. But I normally give it a bit longer than that. But it all depends on what time you've got, But from just a couple of little tastes of the food, it does taste nice. The shame I haven't got smell-o-vision. I'm sure one day they'll have that. Can you imagine that? Tuning into a video and there's smell-o-vision as well. Brilliant. Anyway, I think that's. I'm going to do a bit more with this. And again, if you are going to serve this once it's cooked, so say like it's coming up to 2 o'clock, I've got 7 minutes before it's 2 o'clock. So I did decide we were going to sit down and have this. Obviously we've got to put a pan of water on for the pasta. You know, just this standard 20p packet of pasta. Alright. Obviously a bigger family, 6 of you, probably going to need at least 2 of these packs. But you know, for this meal under a tenner for 6 people, and you know, that's pretty good going, isn't it? You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, you know, sort of 10 minutes. What I normally do is the pasta, I don't give it any more than 8 minutes. Boil it, get it all nice and boiled water. Chuck the pasta in. I don't put salt in the water for the pasta because I find it's too salty otherwise, you know, with this mixture. So I don't add any salt to the pasta water. Boil it up, get the water nice and hot boiling, and then put the pasta in, drop it down to like a simmer. But what I do is I add a drop of oil in with the boiling water for the pasta, and the oil stops the pasta sticking together. Alright, only a tiny drop, just a splodge. Alright, and you know, I've got no measurements for you because I'll just give it a splodge. I suppose if it's a big pot of tablespoon, not a teaspoon, a tablespoonful, and then stay with that. And then what I do is I give it 8 minutes, and then boiling, put a kettle on, and then I strain it through, get rid of all the starch out of the pasta. And again, so if you want the garlic bread, you can put that in. That normally takes about 10 minutes or so. 10-15 minutes, and then it's all ready, you know. And it's so if you added garlic bread to this, then you are going to be over the £10, but not a lot, you know, not a great deal. Probably sort of 11. Actually, it depends on what size family. If you've got 6 of you, then you probably need 2 packs of, you know, garlic bread. So, you know, your meal's probably going to come in at about 12 quid. But, you know, for 6 of you, that ain't bad, is it? You know, especially when we're in the times of credit crunch and whatnot. Anyway, so we're nearly done. Let's pause it there. There was one other thing. If you don't like pasta, because my missus, she's not that keen on pasta. She always has a jacket potato when she has this. So again, get yourself a nice jacket potato. Doesn't matter how you cook it. I mean, I normally start my jackets in the oven, go outside in the microwave, and then finish them in the oven so they're nice and crispy. But yeah, so she will have a jacket potato with this all over the top, and possibly a bit of cheese. And it is lovely, you know, in a jacket potato. But there's loads of, you know, you ain't got to have it like that, you can have it how you want, you know. You haven't got to have this with pasta or potato, just pile it on a plate and have some chips with it or something, you know. The thing is with cooking, there's no rules. I mean, there is some rules, you know, when you're cooking certain meals. If you want it exactly how it's stated in the book, then, you know, then that's a difference. You know, like if you've got doing a pastry, then you are going to have to weigh out stuff. But this is not that sort of meal. This is just chuck it in a pan and off you go. The only rule is stay with it. I mean, I've been turning the camera on and off while I've been doing other bits, but I'm still stirring it. Again, you haven't got to keep stirring it. Sometimes you're better off leaving it for a couple of minutes and then coming back to it. But I think I've exhausted everything. But anyway, so it looks good. Weird. Sorry about moving that, guys. The tripod was, one leg was a little bit off the ground, so I apologise if let's give that a stir. Right, now this has had, I'd say, probably a good half an hour cook time. So I think, and it's the right consistency. Can you see this? Let's do this. It's not runny, it's not stodgy thick, it's just nice. Alright. Again, if anyone's got anything they'd like to see me have a go at cooking, you know, I'm not going to tackle anything too adventurous, but you never know, I might have a go at doing it. But I might do something to surprise you all. You know, I might not do anything for a little while because of life and the universe and everything gets in the way, doesn't it? You know. But yeah, you know, any ideas? And again, saying, you know, with the band thing, what I was talking about earlier, if you want your music in some of my vids, you've seen the sort of things I do. It's, you know, as I said, there isn't any money in it because I don't get paid. But I will link the name of the band and the website and any details you know you want me to put in. So when people, if they do come across my vids, I'll go, oh yeah, music by such and such. And again, if I remember, I'll give the band a shout out, or bands who allow me to use their music, but it must be your own stuff because of the copyright, otherwise the video will get banned, audio will be blocked, so it'll be a waste of time for everyone. But yeah, anyway, I think that's it, guys. I don't really want to give this too much more cooking. It's just right, tastes nice, the consistency's just right. Right guys, so that is it, all done and dusted, all cooked. I've just got to clean away a little bit, tidy up. But if you can see, the spaghetti bolognese, I'll put the lid on and then we'll probably have that in an hour or so. Just give it a little warm up. Now what I normally do is I normally warm it up again in the pan, so it's still hot, but I give it a further sort of 10-20 minutes. So I always add that extra bit to the cook time. That's why I finish, you know, I said we do it for an hour. Alright guys, so this is, as I said, I'm giving it another 10-15 minutes heat up time. Alright, so I'm doing this with one hand, so I'm doing the best I can here. There's the pasta. That'll need about 8 minutes. Alright, so that's that going on. Oh, it does smell super nice. Keep giving it a stir. Right, okay, so this is the last little bit. This is nicely warmed up. Alright, so that can be turned off now. Grab the hot boiling water. Pour it all over the pasta. It's all steamy. Right, okay, so that's all the water on it. I can't get too close because it's getting steam on the lens. Alright, so now to serve up. Oh, there we go, there's my son's. He doesn't like loads of pasta, so what I do is I toss the pasta in the actual mixture rather than pouring it on top. So that's Ronnie's, and there's mine, all salted and yummy and ready to eat. Guys, I forgot to say, I always put a little bit of black pepper on mine, and that is it. It's now finished, and I'm going to scrum it all up. Anyway, cheers guys, thanks for watching. Live long and prosper, and may the force be with you. Cheers guys, Squibby out.